Guys, it's better to be healthy and rich because being broke and sick, it ain't helping nobody. Would you agree? Hi guys. Very similar to the previous episode, I haven't prepared and pre-prepared in advance a script for this one. But it's all right because I just want to share with you what's happening lately in my life. And you know that I am recording all of these episodes and my YouTube movies and videos in advance. And I believe we are somewhere now in August, but I'm making this video in June, so it's maybe 2 months back what's happening now in my life. And it's not so long ago. So it's recent, let's say, pretty and relatively recent. Maybe one day I will catch up and I will start making live videos because I cannot guarantee you that I will be able to make one video per week every week on, let's say, on Thursday. My schedule is so tight, it's so confusing, it's such a mess. So I'm not able to guarantee you that I will be able to do that. But nevertheless, let's talk what happened this week. Very interesting thing. So I have a friend. We have known each other for 15 years. And suddenly he called me, I don't know, 5 days ago that he wants to see me. I know very good who he is. When I was working in my previous company, I was working on the faculty. I was, let's say, something like a project manager. So I had some project. I was not a teacher. I was not an assistant there. I was not something that has to do a lot of with teaching the students. So with the curriculum or something like that, I was doing some projects on the faculty, some scientific projects, some research, engineering, and so on. And when I was working there, I get to know a lot of people. And this guy, I met him when I was on the faculty, so it was 15 years ago, and we get along quite well. We used to go and drink in the bar that's near the faculty. So we talk a lot about the technology, what's possible to do, what should we do like a company and so on. And he shared with me some of his ideas, and then our path they're separated. We continue to go by our own paths, and I believe 10 years ago he started a company that's one of the most, let's say, propelling, the fastest growing company, IT company in Croatia. And today he has a profit in the company of around 11 million euros, and he has an income around 50 million euros. Just to put it in perspective, the company that I'm working for now, I have been working for this company for 10 years. Income of this company is around 4 to 5 million euros per year. There is so much profit. Rarely there is some kind of profit, so we are, let's say, dancing on the margin of profitability. So we are, how much we earn, that's the amount of money that we spend. So there is no money left at the end of the year. And he called me 5 days ago and he said, "Okay, Bernie, can you come? I need to talk to you." But okay, we are, let's say, friends in a way that we can greet each other. We understand, we can recognize each other in a crowd, but we are not home friends or something like that. We are not drinking buddies. We're not drinking so that we meet each other every week or something like that. But okay, we know who each other. We were, let's say, hanging out more frequently in the past. And let's say in the past 10 years, we didn't communicate as much. And then all of a sudden, from the blue, he called me and said, Bernie, can you come? I want to talk with you. I said, okay, great. I don't know what what he wants, but maybe he wants to see me. Of course, I'm not so. Let's say I understand if somebody who is not, say, frequently talking to you for quite a while and all of a sudden he needs something just to see you. Most probably he needs something, and okay, I'm okay with that. If it's something business related, I'm always for that. If there is some kind of business that we can do something good, something concrete, something that will make our lives better, why not? Let's start. Let's go. And we met on coffee one day this week, and we were talking, and he said that he has some issues in the company. He has some, say, blank spots when it comes to the people that he needs in the company. So let's say in the normal occasions there will be a guy in some part of your company that would manage some other people and so on, because they don't have this position, because there is no one maybe eligible or good enough for this position. They are forced to use other people who are already in the company doing other things to do also this job. And it can be quite frustrating and overwhelming for people who are doing their regular normal jobs that they should do based on the position they are in, and this additional job that maybe no one wants to take. There is no one that could take this position within a company. It's always the best to do, to see if there is someone within the company to claim that position, because they're already inside. They understand the processes, they understand how the business is going there. And I believe that my friend was, I don't know, put in a position, in a spot that he has to go outside to the market and find out if he can find somebody to fill this position. And because we know each other, maybe he was scrolling the LinkedIn or I don't know what, he came across me and said, "Ooh, I know him. He was good when we were back then in the days. He was very good. I know how he works. So let's call him. Let's find out." I believe he checked where I work, who am I, what are my references, and so on. And we met. And then he told me about this position and what it's all about. And basically, we are going to meet once more in a few days. And basically, he's saying, "Bernie, I need you. Are you ready to come? Will you help me with this? We need someone like you. I know that you're good on this position. I know what you can do. Can you come and help us?" Okay, we will see, of course, the financial part, the contracts, and so on and so forth. But basically, this is it. So he's asking me to basically quit my current job and come work for him. And I wouldn't say many times, but few times through my career in this current company for the past 10 years, you know, there are a few times when someone called me and asked me if I would go and work for them. So I had some kind of interviews or something like that. Some of them was, let's say, I wanted them to happen because I was the one who initiated these conversations, or I wanted to go out from the current company, or I want to change the position. But for the past 2 or 3 years, I was not actively in the market. I was not actively searching for a new job. Okay, I was always open for discussions with for communication with other potential uh, employer, because if someone wants to speak to me, why not? It's always good to maintain some good communication and good relationship with people who are in the markets. There is no harm there. You can only benefit from them. So there is nothing wrong with that. So it's always good to have those connections. You never know what will happen and what could happen to your current job, your current position. It's always good to have options and to know people. Basically, out of the blue, he called me and said, come. And in most of the cases, I would go, at least because I'm a nice guy and so on. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. At least I go and listen to what the guy has to say. Maybe I'm not ready to move position. I'm not ready to quit my current job. But at least I talk, I speak about the company, I speak about the position, I speak about what are the problems, I get to know more about the industry that I'm in. So I collect some information and it's always good. So there can only be benefits from that. And this time also, I was going into this conversation with the same attitude. I said, okay, let's see what he has to say, what he needs and so on. But you know what? I like to check the companies, to check their financial statements, the incomes, the profits. What do they do? What is the business case? So what are the products? Is the product good or not? Who is using that products? What is the business that they are in? Does this business have a perspective? Has a future? What kind of future is for this business? And it's the way I like to evaluate the company. So when I'm moving position, if I'm going to move to another company and take some other position, then I don't really care. Okay, you care about what's going to happen to me. So what is my what is going to be my contract, what I will get, my financial terms and so on. But that's not so important. That's maybe second or third, maybe third most important things when I'm thinking and reasoning about changing the job. The first thing is, what is this company? What do they do? What are the products? Who is using those products? The second most important thing is their balance sheet. So what is the income? What is the cost? What is the profit? Is there any profit? What is the growth of the company through the years and so on? So how they are standing financially? Are they a good company? Do they have some kind of organic growth? And then maybe the third thing, most important, what is the future of this company? Where will they be in 5 years? What is their roadmap? So what do they plan to do with the products? Are they going to, I don't know, move to another country or try to expand to into another country? So those are the things that I'd like to see. And then, of course, one of the most important things is to check who is working there. So what is the profile of the people working that company? What are their references? What are their, I don't know, skills? Where did they work before they came to that company? So that you know what you can expect when you come to some such of ecosystem in another company. And when I was presented with the opportunity to come to any other company before this, when I did this kind of evaluation of the company, I said, okay, everything is good. Maybe this is good. Maybe this is better. Maybe this is worse than my current company where I'm in. But when you sum up everything, when you draw a line, then you come to a conclusion. It's maybe the same, maybe slightly better, but almost the same or worse in that potential new company than for me personally, then it's currently in the company that I'm in now. So it's always this, you have to take measures, you have to take these decisions and see whether or not you're moving to a better place. So it's not necessary for you to move to a better job with a better, higher paycheck. It's not this. I don't care so much about this. I care about what can I bring to that company. Is that company a good company with good people, with good skills, references? They have a lot of experience. And is this setup or this, I don't know, environment, and this domain, business domain that they're in, is this a healthy one? Will it grow? Does it have a future? And so on. And I said for every other potential opportunity that I have till now, it was pretty much the same as for the current position in the current company, or it was also maybe potentially slightly worse. But this time, when I did this evaluation of this company, everything checked out better and it had more sense to go. So everything indicated that it would be better for me to change to that position than to be in the current workplace. The only, I would say, downside currently that I see, it's not the downside, it's normal. I would say it's normal, is that you know that saying in order to go 2 steps forward, you have to go 1 step back. But I'm okay with that. I'm ready to take that, let's say, risk, if it can be called risk at all, to go 1 step back in my, let's say, professional career in order for me to boost up and to go 2 steps forward more quickly than that I can do this in the current company. So in the current company, I started as a programmer, then I have been leading some project, business analyst, then I have been a team lead, then I have been software development implementation head of implementations. Then I become the director of engineering, product engineering. Now I'm director of customer success management. And basically now when you are looking at the hierarchy of the company, I'm now something that's called the C-1. So the next position for me is to become a chief technical officer or something like that. So there is nowhere else that I can go or could go. And that's it. So I'm the first level underneath this chief technical officer. And by moving to this other company that I have an opportunity now, I would be a C-2 level. So I wouldn't be directly underneath the chief technology officer. I would be under some director. So I would be on a position of a head of something. So basically it's like a position that I was in this current company, I don't know, 3 years ago or something like 2 years ago. And is the only, let's say, bad, I would say bad. It's the only con. There are pros and cons. This is one of the biggest cons why I shouldn't do it. But there are so many pros to do it that this con, it cannot make up for it. So it will be overwhelmed, and those pros are so powerful that this cons doesn't even matter at the end of the day. So those pros it's a completely different business than business, say, the way of doing business than in the current company. The current company, we are B2B, so we are selling very complex, big enterprise products for very big customers, companies. So those are not normal people. So we are not selling to ordinary people, we are selling to companies. And in this business, you have a huge competition. The sales cycle, it lasts for months or even years in some cases. So you need a lot of effort in order to sell something. Of course, once you sell something, those are contracts in maybe hundreds of thousands or millions of euros. But what is good in it, if you don't have those contracts, if you don't have an ability to pay paychecks today or in next month, maybe you will have $2 million in 1 year, but you have to feed yourself now. You have to pay your bills now. So you understand, you need this cash flow, and you need some kind of a business that it's, let's say, immune this kind of business, to this way of doing business, like you have in other IT domains, when you have some kind of recurring revenue, when you have some kind of subscription-based system, when you get your money regularly on the monthly basis, and where you don't have to, I don't know, spend your sweat, your blood, and your tears every day for every euro to pay your bills today. So there is much more air to breathe, let's say fresh air to breathe, if you know that at least, I don't know, you don't have to do anything special next 2 months. It will not kill you. It will not destroy the company. The company will not go broke, because there is some inflow, cash inflow, that comes regularly, because you have your regular customers. They are paying you on a monthly basis. They are doing some kind of business with you, and you have this, I would say, the base. You have a current base of customers that cannot be deflated so easily. So you cannot go from, I don't know, 100,000 customers, the ordinary. So the customers are the ordinary people in this new company, not businesses. So you cannot go from 100,000 customers overnight to 20,000 customers. This doesn't work this way. So that's why this business process is much better, from my perspective, in this new company. And by extending their business to another state, to another country, they're only increasing the base of their customers, meaning that it will be much easier for them to get even more money on the monthly basis without too much sweat, tears, and and blood that you have to spill. That's one very, very big pro for the new company. The next big pro is that they have a lot of customers already, so that they have a recurring revenue. They are very financially very good, very situated, so they have this, let's say, backlog of working capital in the company, where they will not go bust in 2 days if they don't get a new customer in 2 days. So they have some operating capital they can manage. They can manage to pay the company staff, the company bills, responsibilities, financial responsibilities to other companies, and so on. So that's very important. The third big thing is that they're growing. They're growing by factor of times 2 in revenue each year, or times 1.5 or something like that. EBITDA is over 15%. There is a profit on 50 million revenue. There is a 10 million euro profit cash. So while in current company we are not growing so fast, it's minimal growth, if there is even growth at all. There is no kind of profit. So when you wage this, think about it. There is a no-brainer. Which company is better? Then also, I already know those guys in that company. I already know the owner. I'm very good with him. He knows how I work. So there will be a shorter period of onboarding me. And it's a company, it's about the same size when it comes to a number of people. So I'm used to working in such kind of environment that's more dynamic, that's not a big corporation where everything is sluggish and the only thing, like if you work for banks or telecoms, you'll see that the biggest thing that everybody is talking about, everybody cares about themselves, about their bonuses, about their KPIs, whether or not they have done something wrong, or when something goes wrong, who is to blame. So who is one that they can put on a cross, because they are all double crossers and they are all pieces of shit, pretty much, because everybody in those kind of big corporations, they're all just protecting their own asses. And by protecting their own asses, they tend to refrain themselves from making any kind of decision, because if you don't make any kind of decision, then you will not do any kind of mistake. But by not doing any kind of decision, you're not changing. When you are not changing, there is no possibility for growth. So you have to make decisions. And the people who came from those kind of companies that are very big, very sluggish governmental companies or big corporation like banks and so on, they tend to do things very slowly, to make decisions very rarely, if even at all. And then if something goes wrong, the only thing that they care about is if they are the one to blame, is their fault. How will it affect their bonuses at the end of the year and such crap. I don't give a fuck about bonuses and so on. I care about business. Will the business grow? Will the company grow? Because if you do this kind of this, and you have to make decisions, and by doing many decisions, you will see that you are getting better in those decisions. And the most important thing is that you make more good decisions than bad. There is no way you will miss, that you will guess everything and every decision of yours will be a right decision. So maybe 20, maybe 30, maybe 40% of your decision will be a bad one. The most important thing is that you are smart enough to reason about that, to fail fast, to get up on your feet very, very fast, and then to correct your decision and go another way. That's very good, because there is no damage, a big damage to this. You have made a decision, so there is a change, something is moving, you have to move constantly in the space of when you have the competition in the IT space today and so on. But also you have learned something, so you will not make this mistake next time. So your error rate will go down. So in the future, after 100 decisions, the next 100 decisions will be like 90% of them will be a correct one, 10% will be a bad decision. You are getting better and better and better, but you always have to make decisions. And I'm a guy who doesn't care whose fault is it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. Let's work. Let's do something. Let's move. Because if you are working for the company, for the business, just to make this separation between the company and the business. Company is maybe your owner. Maybe you have a stakeholder or some stakeholders or something like that. They're all interested in money and something like that. But if you put your focus only on that, then you are under stress. Then maybe you're not satisfied. You don't want to work for someone else and look how he gets rich or something like that. And that's a wrong mindset. The good mindset, the proper mindset, at least from my perspective, is to care about the business growth, the customer satisfaction, the growth of customer base, and such things. Because when you are focused on that, then you are making some kind of result on that field. The business is getting better and better. You're earning more. And that's the consequences of your behavior like that, is that you get more revenue, more profits. At the end of the day, company gets better and better. So you understand. And when the company gets better and better over the years in the business-wise, it will, unless you have a company full of complete idiots, but it will reflect on you, on me personally, on my paycheck, on my bonuses, on my benefits, and so on. It has to. There is no way that it cannot reflect. Because if they see that you put your energy into business, business grows, revenue grows, customer satisfaction grows, and something, and so on, you don't have to be Albert Einstein to understand that you have to take care of that person, that this of me, and so on. So because I'm the fuel of the company and I will make everything that needs to be done. I don't care what my title is. Am I ahead of this? I will do whatever it takes to drive the business in the right direction. That's it. In terms that I can handle, using the responsibilities that I have and using the power that I have, the means that I was granted. So you understand. So that's it. And then also I have to see whether or not I can move up the ladder in this new company. Maybe I can become a director. Maybe I can go into the upper management or something like that in the new company. But it has to make sense. And for the first time after 10 years, I have come across an opportunity that is more likely, that has a high probability that it will be like this for me in the future. So the business will go up, it will grow, and I will have the possibility to advance professionally in my career. So I'm now at the crossroads. I'm now still in the process of decision making. I still have, as I said, one meeting to do with, or maybe 2 or 3 meetings with this potential new employer. And I will see, and I will sit down and think very good about, is it worth it? For now, I will say yes. I am ready to take that risk, but we will see at the end, and I will keep you up to date so that you know all of this process, so that you can follow me, how I'm thinking, and how did I come to a conclusion, why did I change or I didn't change my employer or the job. So you will know. So guys, what do you think? Should I stay on the current job? Am I done with the current employer, with the current workplace? I have been here for 10 years. I've gone through all of these levels. I'm currently one step from the chief technical officer, but most probably I will not become one unless the current guy goes away or something like this. So basically I have reached almost the top of this company, and I can see when I evaluate that the new company has all of this, let's say, bullets, all of this evaluation properties of the company that I evaluate in much better condition than the current company has. So what do you think, guys? Should I make the leap of faith? Should I go with the new company? Should I switch the job? My mommy said, no, you're good in here. Don't change anything. But if you don't change, there is no way that you can move in your life. Just remember all of things that we have been talking in our episodes. The only thing that you need to do is to constantly change. That's if you stay still, if you don't do anything, you don't make any decision, how can it get better in your life? It can potentially get worse. Okay, there is a risk, always there is a risk, but you cannot ever be better. It cannot be ever better in your life if you don't change something, if you don't move. So guys, what would you do if you're in my position? Write in the comments, subscribe, like if you like this, my small talks in late June evenings, like hot June evenings like this, and I will keep you posted. Maybe next week I will tell you what happened on the meeting with the potential new boss. Bye guys.